Yo guys, what is up? It's Teach here, coming at you again with another video over on Ark Survival Ascended, and I wanted to show you guys how to get some really easy and fun to get, well, loot inside of Ark Survival Ascended, the center. Now, it is a really easy strategy. It's called the Jumping Puzzle Cave. If you don't know where it is, I'm going to go ahead and hold up the coordinates. This is the underground realm, by the way. And the coordinates where I am specifically will be in the upper left corner of the screen. And that's all you have to do is get to those coordinates. I'm going to show you how to go through this cave, explain to you the best way to go about going through it, because it's really not that difficult. And then, yeah, that's kind of what I'll do. But you get a guaranteed 2 red, like underwater double red quality loot crates, which is huge, especially considering that it is a cave that is not hard to run once you figure out the pattern. And then at the end of it, you can also get the artifact of the pack. Now, it is very dark in this cave, unfortunately, as you're seeing right now. But once you get past the darkness point, it actually opens up and it's pretty easy to see. So all you're going to need, I would highly recommend you go through this cave in the very beginning by going to grab like a Rex or something that's a decent sized creature in order to fight some of the bugs off. Because before you actually get to the end of this cave where you can do the jumping puzzle, you will run into some Arthropleura, you'll run into some spiders, some other things like that. And yeah, it's pretty simple. You can technically do it on foot. They changed all of the requirements so that you can just run this cave on foot, because it used to be you had to jump certain distances, blah, 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 blah. But you can run the entire thing pretty simply now, and you just have to know how to do it. So all we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and run up to the cave. Obviously, you saw that most of the stuff so far is just kind of running to where we need to go. And once you get towards the end of it, you start to see a few bugs. We'll leave it that way. Now, I'm going to try not to fly very much, but I will show you a few basic things, but when we get there, and that'll kind of explain a few things, and that means right now. So anyways, there is water underneath. Obviously, we just ran up to the water section. You're going to swim through the water section, and there are a couple of different things that you can do. You can go up these stairs, and then you can go around the side of this. I don't typically like to do that, because if you go around the side of it, in my opinion, you're just, wasting time, because there's technically a way to get it over there. The fastest way is to go and jump in the water, swim, and do a U-turn. I know that sounds weird, but you'll end up at the stairs. Now, this is what I mean by you're going to run into some of the Arthropleura and stuff like that. You can see them right there, but because they float, you can outswim them by just going under the water and then running up these stairs. Now, once you turn that corner and run up these stairs, this is the only part on this map where you're going to actually run into things that can kill you. So you're going to want to avoid them. So just continue to jump. I know it sounds stupid, but you're already running through the jumping cave. You're most of the way through it, actually. Once you get to that, you're just going to go up these next set of stairs. I know that sounds weird, but we're going to go ahead and hit these up. And my goodness, there's a bunch of invisible stairs. But you're just going to keep going forward, and there are 3 directions you can go. Obviously, we can do a 180 and go backwards. You can go up that direction, and you can do a couple other things. So what we're going to do is I'm just going to show you what it looks like to go back up here, because there's nothing you can do. Now, the second thing that you can do, I'm just going to show you. There are 2 directions that we can focus on this cave right now, and that is go back down, go forward. Hint, go forward. You're going to run into some bugs and things like that. Do not drop down here, because you'll reset all of your progress. You're going to want to go straight through this section here. Now, this is where you're going to run into some bugs. You're going to see Onyx and all these things. This is where having a Rex is incredibly useful. You can just chomp through all this stuff. And then once you've chomped through all of it, you can kind of do whatever you want to do. But once you've gotten to the bridge, which is this section right here, what you're going to do then is you're just going to run across. You can continue to use your Rex up until the last possible moment, but just so you can see, there's a little bit of a jump there that your Rex might fall through, depends on what's going on there. Yeah, so that could be problematic, but all we have to do is go across the bridge. Now, once we've crossed the bridge, there is a turn to your left that you're going to take. Now, just so you can see what it looks like, again, I'm going to go up, and wow, it's not letting me float here. So just so you can see, this is like the upper vision. This is a little hidden room back over here. There's no value. You can place sleeping bags in here. This can be useful, but we don't really care too much about that left-hand turn. We're just going to continue to follow the pathway. Now, once you've gotten to this, you'll see an underground water section. You'll see the artifact of the pack, which is up here to the left. And there are 2 artifacts that are red every single time. One is quick and easy to get right here. And I doubled the spawns, so there they are right there. And you'll see another one that spawns right up there. Now, super easy to get access to these 2, by the way. It is not hard. And usually, if no one's run this cave in quite a while, they're actually going to spawn before you get out of the cave, so you can inverse exactly what you're doing. So now that you can see what I'm talking about, this is how we get there. So we're going to go ahead and jump this first part, and you're going to run up this entire chain. Now, the first drop is really easy to get to. It's a full sprint and a jump. Full sprint and a jump. And you're just going to keep going up this little cliff face. Now, once you get up the cliff's face, it'll be a little bit difficult to see a few of the things, but it's not too bad. You can get this first drop and go back right away because you will have to cross lava to get towards the end of this, which kind of sucks. But just to show you, it's some pretty good loot that is really nice to access, obviously. And this is on just a solo player server, so you can see it is probably the best loot that you can get outside of running the ocean drops, and the ocean drops can be very dangerous, so you have to be careful about that. Now, usually I hit these without doing a full sprint, but if you feel like doing a sprint, you can. But it's up to you. And then we're just going to keep going across. It's very dangerous, so try and place your jumps carefully. I know that sounds weird, right? It's a jumping puzzle. It's not like the other puzzles that you face inside of Ark. But once you get good at this, you can kind of speed run this entire thing. And it's actually pretty freaking simple. So we're just going to focus on keeping. Now, the general safety rule is keep to the right, because if you can keep to the right, you're going to be much safer than jumping anywhere else. So just aim for the right-hand side of things. Boop. There we go. All right, so now that we've gotten past all this, you'll see that we're moving towards this. Now, there's a secret. A lot of people try and jump there. You just go right there and drop down. Nothing too special. Don't try and be fancy with it. I don't know why people like to do that. They sometimes do, but they sometimes get a little bit tricky with it, and it's not worth your loss of loot. So again, there's the other loot crate, and there are two, well, technically you'll get the other ones as you go back down, loot crates that you can run. Now we're gonna go ahead and keep going. This is still a jumping puzzle, and we're just, I mean, really the only rule of thumb is go up. Now, if you do fall from this point forwards, it is above lava. I would encourage you, if you just want the loot, to leave, because even if you've done this a whole bunch, you can accidentally press a wrong button. You can do a whole bunch of different things and screw up in a lot of different ways. So it's not fun to really mess this one up. So keep your loot and get out. That's my general rule of thumb. I still mess this up even though I've run it, I don't know, hundreds of times. Ooh, I forget about that one sometimes. There we go. All right, and as you can see, we're making pretty good progress here, and it's pretty simple. We're just running the entire thing. And the only reason we got the loot that we wanted, so you could go out and you can run this loot. Oh, and see, I just told you, you'll fall into that lava and you die. You just make one mistake. The only reason you want to run the rest of this is to get the artifact. So like I said, grab your loot and get out, because it's not easy. Now, if you have grapple hooks, if you have parachutes, those are helpful in this situation. There's a lot of things that you can do. But again, if you don't have to jump, hint, the game gives you hints. Crouch, don't waste your time. Pretty easy to see where the game's giving you hints. Just look around a little bit. There's no need to rush, and the game will tell you what you need to do. So, and we're getting there. We're making really good progress. Hint, I can't go that way, so you have to jump down there. And it can be dangerous. If you sprint too fast, you hit the wall and you can drop to your death. So keep that in mind. It really sucks. I've done that many times. And we're just going to keep on going. Now, this one is my least favorite jump in the entire game due to the fact that you can screw it up in 12 different ways. If you don't sprint, you die. If you sprint too quickly, you die. You get the point. So you just have to be careful. Now, what I recommend is this angle right here. Start sprinting right where I'm at and then jump. You'll usually land on the very edge like that. Hate this jump. It's just not fun. Now, again, sprint on this one. And there we go. Notice how we are currently making good progress. The artifact of the pack is right in front of us. This looks like there's no way to get to it, but there is. You're just going to have to drop down in order to get to it, which really, really sucks. Now, you can jump without sprinting and hit this every time. Now, again, no sprint jump, no sprint jump. And we are back to another climbing section here. And we are making our progress. So the biggest thing you can do is, if you have opportunity to mess up, go fast. If you don't, slow down. I've already died twice now, right? So I've lost all of my loot twice now, 3 times now. I'm just doing this quickly, by the way. So, you know, you could do this a lot slower and be a lot safer, but I'm just trying to show you guys. So we are almost towards the end, and just walk down this. we are at the end. Now that you've gotten to the very end, you've gotten to the room, the chamber. There used to be like a secret chamber here that you could get stuff from. And if you go up into here, this is all that's left. And boom, there's the artifact we're looking for up there. Go ahead and grab that. Nothing super sketchy on the way back. However, sometimes the artifacts and drops will respawn. So getting 2 copies is always better than 1. I usually look to my left to see if that happened. And then you can jump down into the water, which is actually the reason the water's there, to avoid the entire puzzle. Boop. Just like that. So that is how you run this drop. It's pretty simple. General rule of thumb, stay to the left, get those 2 artifacts or get those 2 drops, get out, and then come back for the artifact. The drops will respawn every 45 minutes. Go and get them every 45 minutes because it is so much worth your time. So this is where you get the best. I mean, you're guaranteed red drops every single time. So it's worth it just to put a bag down here and get good at running it, because that is how you get a ton of loot. So hopefully this video helps you out. And other than that, teach.